Honda's performance luxury division Acura has been needing a smaller and more affordable entry-level SUV for years, and for 2025 that vehicle finally arrives in the form of this. This is the first ever 2025 Acura ADX. It's built on the same architecture that underpins the highly successful new Integra, and with standard VTEC turbo power under the hood and available all-wheel drive, it should be a nice addition to Acura's SUV portfolio. So today we're actually out here at a studio in Los Angeles, California, taking a look at the all-new ADX. And now that we're finally seeing this new vehicle in the sheet metal, let's go ahead and take a detailed first look. Now, when Acura first brought back the coveted Integra nameplate back to the States a couple of years ago, as an enthusiast, I was super excited. And to be honest, it's been a huge hit for Acura. The company managed to sell a little over 32,000 Integras in America in 2023. So it's no surprise to me that the company would want to capitalize on that success by introducing essentially an Integra-based SUV. This is a vehicle that dealers and consumers have been asking for years because the cheapest SUV you can buy from Acura currently is the RDX. So let's go ahead and get into the exterior styling of the all-new ADX. Now, first of all, this vehicle is built on the same architecture as the Integra, as I mentioned, and it'll be available in 3 different trim levels at launch. There's the base ADX, which is extremely well equipped. There's also the ADX A-Spec package, which this model is the A-Spec, and then there's one level above that called the A-Spec with Advanced, which both of the vehicles in here have also that advanced package. You can see the front fascia of the vehicle has all the usual design touches that we've come to expect from Acura. You have their corporate face with the frameless diamond pentagon look. The A-Spec, of course, has its own unique grille insert with the gloss black and the additional diamonds. It's got the big Acura logo with the company's latest Acura Watch full suite of driver assistance tech. You can see there's nicely integrated parking sensors, and this trim, as you can see, has the usual chicane style full LED headlights with the LED daytime running light, LED turn signal. It has just one individual projector LED for the low and high beams. No fog lights in the vehicle. Actually, I'm sorry, there are fog lights in the vehicle. They're down here, which is included on the A-Spec trim. If you guys don't get the A-Spec, you won't have the fog lights. This trim also with the advanced package includes the front camera system, which is a feature you can't even get on the Integra. And this particular one that I'm showing you here does have like an accessory package that basically gives us a more aggressive front splitter, along with the side sill, which we'll show you guys later on. Now, underneath the hood, I can't pop the hood right now to show you guys what's powering this thing, but this vehicle will launch with the same powertrain as the Integra. It's a 1.5 liter gasoline direct injection VTEC turbo 4-cylinder. So this engine in the Integra makes 200 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. Acura wasn't quite ready to talk about the final horsepower and torque figures of the ADX. They're awaiting final certification, but I expect it to be pretty similar in terms of power. Remember, this vehicle also kind of shares a platform with the Honda HR-V. So compared to the HR-V, which has a naturally aspirated engine, this should have roughly about 40-ish more horsepower. It all go out through a CVT transmission. So Acura says they've tuned the CVT to be more performance oriented, and it also will have simulated gears via paddle shifters on the steering wheel, which we'll talk about in a moment. Front or all-wheel drive will be available across the board on all trims. We don't have final fuel economy information just yet, nor do we have 0 to 60 or curb weight figures. But this vehicle should have enough power to compete with most of the other vehicles in the entry-level subcompact SUV segment. Now, moving around the side profile, this particular color here that I'm showing you is called Adriatic Sea Blue Metallic. This is technically an exclusive color to the ADX. It's also new for 2025. It's a very nice looking color. It's a very, very dark blue. Behind me, we'll show you guys the platinum white pearl. You can see with the A-Spec model, you can see there's some badging here. All A-Specs will basically have the gloss black along the wheel arch trim carrying over onto the side sill. If you guys don't get the A-Spec package, you're going to have kind of like a satin silver gloss look along the trim of the vehicle, which is kind of similar to what we saw on the Acura ZDX. Although again, with this accessory, you do have a little bit more of an aggressive side sill along with the front splitter. You can see the wheels. When you guys go for the A-Spec models, you'll get a 19-inch wheel. An 18-inch wheel is standard on the base ADX. This is the accessory gloss black 19-inch wheel riding on a Continental all-season tire. The tire sizes themselves are a 235 by 45 R19. This vehicle has an all-independent suspension, all disc brakes. So I want you to take a look. Those are the wheels that are accessory. Moving over to the platinum white model here, you can see these are the standard 19-inch wheels that you get with the A-Spec advanced package. They look very similar to the accessory wheel, but I do love kind of like the double 5-spoke design. Again, same size tire, 235 by 45 with the all disc brakes. And again, without the more aggressive front splitter, it just is a little bit more subtle. And personally, with the white and the black accents, I think it actually looks really good. Kind of keep in mind, again, if you guys don't get the advanced package, the wheels will have a shark gray finish to them. Now, looking at the entire side profile of the ADX, this vehicle, again, is very similar in proportions to the Integra. In fact, its overall length is 185.8 inches long. That is the same length as the Integra, which is actually very surprising. It's actually only around 2 inches shorter than Acura's own RDX. So it's actually a really big vehicle for the class compared to the HRV, which is also a similar platform. This vehicle is around 6 inches shorter. It has the same wheelbase as the HRV at 104.3 inches. The Integra's wheelbase is about 3 inches longer. And I actually kind of think that they should have probably stretched the wheelbase a little bit longer, because I'm noticing the front and rear overhangs are a little bit longer than I think they should be. But again, that's kind of my personal opinion. This vehicle is going to give you more interior space than some of its rivals because of its size. Now you can see gloss black side mirrors. That's included when you guys go for the A-Spec package. I also love the gloss black around the window trim. Going for this trim will also give you the bigger panoramic sunroof. The base ADX will have a standard size sunroof. The panoroof is included with the A-Spec package, which is a nice feature. Remember, you can't even get something like that on the Integra or the HRV. The HRV only offers a standard sunroof. And then looking at the rear of the vehicle, this is where you're seeing, again, more of that Integra influence. The headlights look pretty similar to that vehicle, and so do the taillights. You can see the taillights kind of have this really interesting kind of curvature look where it kind of follows the chicane light pattern as the front of the vehicle. There are also LED turn signals as well, which is a nice touch. There's the A-Spec badging with the ADX and all-wheel drive badge as well. And then down here at the lower front splitter, you can see gloss black with this kind of like gray silver trim down here with the dual chrome exhaust tips, which definitely gives this a more performance look to the vehicle. So I appreciate how this vehicle also kind of has like a sport back look to it. But again, it does show that this vehicle is longer than a lot of its rivals. I like the rear spoiler back here. And if the roof spoiler is not big enough for you, Acura also offers an accessory here that adds a separate black accented spoiler right above the taillights, which would flow really nicely whenever Acura does also offer a black emblem package, which I think would look really good. As you can see, we switched over to this blue one here at the rear because I did want to just quickly show you with the turn signals on how they are full LED and with the kind of dual spoiler look. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys like this accessory spoiler or if you just prefer it without it and just going with the standard spoiler setup. Now looking at the cargo area, this is where the ADX definitely has more space versus some of its rivals, and that's because it's a bigger vehicle, but it's also very similar to its platform mate, the HRV. Now with the seats up, you can see you have 24.4 cubic feet of storage space, which is actually the same amount of space that you find in the Integra with its back seats left up. Now if you want to fold down the back seats, which I'll have to do that from back here, opening the door, you can see it creates not a completely flat floor. There's a little bit of a ledge there, or at least an incline, but Acura says with the back row seat or back seats folded down, you get a maximum of 55.1 cubic feet of space. 55.1 is actually among the highest in the segment. You're going to find way more space in this vehicle versus something like the Lexus UX or a Mercedes-Benz GLA. Underneath the floor here, you can see there's a little bit of underfloor storage. You'll also find a jack there. Underneath this styrofoam tray, you're also going to find a temporary spare tire, which Acura says if you guys go for all-wheel drive, the spare tire is included. If you guys go for a front-wheel drive model, you'll just get a fix-a-flat kit. Now moving on to the interior of the 2025 ADX, we switched over to the platinum white exterior, and that's because I wanted to show you this brand new interior color. This is the A-Spec advanced trim again, which includes the full perforated Milano leather seats with the ultra suede accents. This is the orchid seats with the blue accents. This is again a new color option for 2025, exclusive to the ADX for now. Acura says you can get this interior color combination with the platinum white or the urban gray, but only on the A-Spec advanced trim level. If you guys don't like this light orchid seat, there's also an ebony/red interior, which basically has a red interior with the black accents for the ultra suede, and then there's an all black interior for the blue one that has contrast red stitching. These seats are heated and ventilated as well, and they adjust in 12 different ways for the driver's side, and you also get 2-person memory, which is nice. This is again a nice upscale touch that you don't typically find in this vehicle's lower sibling, the Integra. So it's great to see Acura is kind of improving the luxury quotient here on this vehicle. Now once I step inside, Acura didn't tell us how much ground clearance this car has, but I suspect it has around 7 inches, which is pretty similar to the HRV. As I get in and shut the door, The door has a nice solid sounding thunk. Remember, this is built on the same architecture as the Civic, the Integra, and the HR-V. Now, in terms of the rest of the interior materials, you can see the door panel has a soft touch injection molded plastic here with this nice graining material. You have real leather and ultra suede over here. There's this kind of interesting texture where it's glossy black here for this portion, along with the silver accented door handle here. Your window controls are one touch up down for all four. I like the silver accents. This trim also includes power folding side mirrors, so I was really happy to see that feature. Really, if you want all the bells and whistles, you need to go for the advanced package. The steering wheel itself also looks pretty nice. It has a flat bottom design, which I think looks even better versus the steering wheel in the Integra. It has a similar airbag cover, heated steering wheel on this trim as well with the A-Spec badge. You also have these actual metal paddle shifters here. Acura says those paddles are standard across the board, even on the base A-Spec model, so you don't even have to get the A-Spec to get these metal paddles. It will basically create virtual gear ratios. I believe Acura said either 6 or 7 virtual ratios. I'll have to wait until I get one out to drive for to see what that's like. Now you can see the steering wheel has a manual tilt and telescoping feature, which I love. And then you can see the gauge cluster. All ADXs will come standard with the fully digital 10.2-inch display. It's not a full 12.3, but as you can see, the cluster looks pretty nice. I can't change the drive mode right now, but there are 5 different drive modes, including that individual setting when you guys go for the advanced package. No heads-up display on this model, but in terms of the rest of the materials, you can see you have a soft touch injection molded plastic here. I really like the leather over here, although I don't know if this is actually real leather. It appears to be. This also is a pretty nice silver painted plastic area, although again, it really looks like genuine aluminum trim. The dash vents you can see are conventional with that same kind of diamond in the actual grill insert there for the air vents. You can see all ADXs will also come standard with the larger display. So this is the 9-inch touchscreen, which has Google built in as well. It also includes wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is essentially the same system that we've seen in the new Honda Civic. The screen itself looks pretty similar. You have an actual volume knob here, a tuning button here, some home buttons here, and a back button. So I was surprised that Acura didn't want to put like a larger 10.2-inch display, but if you guys want the Google built-in function, you have to go for the advanced package. If you guys go for a base trim or an A-Spec, you won't have the Google built-in, but you will still have wireless functionality for your phone. You can see there's the Google Maps built-in. It has Google voice commands. If you want access to the Google Play Store, you kind of have to go into this trim over here, obviously. But overall, you can see the system itself is quick and snappy. The graphics are good. And this trim also gives you a full 360 camera, which you can access, I believe, by pushing that button. Although this model that we're showing is a pre-production vehicle, so some of the features may not be working. Again, if you want all the bells and whistles, including the 360 camera, you need to go for this trim. Now, if you guys are also an audiophile, this is the trim that will include the 15-speaker Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. So that audio system is essentially similar to the upscale audios that we've seen in the new MDX and the ZDX. I'll have to wait until I get one back home to test for a full week to see what the audio system is like. Down over here you can see same really high quality knobs and switchgear, which have a nice satisfying click to them. You also have heated and cooled seats, actual buttons, which I really like. The cool functions only is included when you guys go for the A-Spec trim. The base model will have just heated seats. The buttons also feel good. You have a wireless phone charging pad here that fits my iPhone 16 Pro Max quite nicely. There's 2 USB charging ports, an actual 12-volt here. You have a cup holder over here, just one, in addition to more storage. This shifter looks like it was pulled out of an Integra. There's more of that kind of texturized plastic here where it's kind of a piano black plastic, but it definitely has a different look to it. You have your electronic parking brake here, a downhill assist control. You can also turn it on and off your start, stop, defeat. And then you can see there's another cup holder over here. So the cup holders are kind of split up, but there's still pretty good storage in here. I really like the leather that's kind of along this area here, which kind of creates a more upscale feel, along with this padded area over here. Open up the console, you can see it's a pretty deep console. Here's the key fob for the vehicle. Forgot to show you that earlier. You can see with the advanced package, you also get remote start. So if you guys want the remote start, you have to go for this trim. The key itself is pretty nice. I like the size and shape of it. It has a high quality feel. It has your usual buttons as well. And it has that little Acura script over there. So this is a pretty high quality feeling key that definitely is nicer versus some Honda products. Now, above me, you can see the panoramic sunroof is definitely a nice touch. This also opens up to allow more air and sunlight to come through with a built-in sunshade. That is the largest that it opens. You can see it opens up over the front seat area, which definitely is good, although this interior feels open and airy already. And per pre-production vehicle, I have to say the quality and the fit and finish in here is quite nice. I also love how these seats feel. The leather feels really plush. The material quality feels high quality, and I also love the blue accents. They really need to offer this color combination on that Adriatic Sea blue metallic. So I'm surprised that you can only get a black interior with that dark blue. Now, the glove compartment you can see is a bin style. It's damped but not lined with felt. It offers a good amount of additional storage, but overall this interior definitely feels like a step above versus the Integra. But just be sure that if you guys want all the bells and whistles like the 360 camera, the power folding mirrors, you need to go for the advanced package. But let's go ahead and hop into the backseat area of the new ADX, and this is where its larger size is going to give you more interior space, especially if you want to use this as a family vehicle. Now, first of all, you can see that beautiful orchid blue accented interior carries over back here, although these seats are not perforated because there's no heat or ventilation function back here, which is fine. Most of the vehicles in this class don't have it. You can see this seat back basically doesn't allow you to recline. You can basically just fold it down to kind of create that expanded cargo area with a slight slope to it. But it would have been nice if Acura would have put like a reclining seat back here. But once you are back here, you can see compared to most of its rivals, the ADX's back seat is huge. It's cavernous. It has 37.7 inches of legroom, which is pretty much the same as the Integra and the same as the HR-V. You can see the floor back here is almost completely flat. There's a slight hump, as you can see. You have two USB-C charging ports. You have actual air vents back here, but like I said, no household power outlet or no heated back seats. You have one storage pocket, and then back here, sadly, the material quality did go down a bit. It's hard touch plastic here, hard touch here, as opposed to having the leather, although the leather is down here where you'd rest your elbows. Again, you have high quality window controls, no retractable shades. You don't typically find that in this class of vehicle. But as you can see with this panoramic sunroof, it does eat into your headroom space a bit, but it also has a little cutout area here. For somebody my height, there is a good amount of space with this LED map lighting as well. And then, as you guys saw earlier, there's an armrest that folds down and gives you two cup holders. So if you plan to use this car as a family vehicle, the back seat in this car actually is pretty similar to Acura's larger and far more expensive RDX. Now, with most consumers continuing to have kind of an unhealthy obsession with SUVs, it doesn't surprise me that Acura would be finally expanding their SUV portfolio, because for the longest time, it was literally just two vehicles, the RDX and the MDX, which actually are the two best-selling models in Acura's North American portfolio. We now have the all-electric ZDX, but the ADX is a vehicle that the company has needed for years. Dealers have been asking for it, consumers have been asking for it, and with such the big success of the Integra, I expect this all-new ADX to quickly become one of the company's best-selling models. And after finally seeing this new version in the sheet metal, I have to say I'm really liking some of the styling details here. They very much borrowed a lot of styling touches from the all-new Integra, which I think is a really great thing. I love the A-Spec models, which kind of represent the sweet spot in terms of design, in terms of technology, in terms of overall features. This new Adriatic Sea Blue Metallic is also a really nice addition. The turbocharged engine under the hood, while I do wish that Acura would have considered offering their hybrid powertrain. I just recently spent a week with the CR-V hybrid, which I found it to be an excellent powertrain. I think it actually would be a great addition in this vehicle. The fact that you can get the turbo with all-wheel drive is basically one of the reasons why people are likely going to be trading in their Integra for this ADX, because of the fact that it does offer the all-wheel drive grip. We'll have to wait until we get one out on the road to see how the powertrain feels out in real-world conditions and how the fuel economy is. That engine is a very efficient powertrain in the Integra. I expect it to get probably upwards of 30 mpg on the highway whenever Acura has those final numbers for us. In terms of availability and pricing, the all-new ADX, Acura says, will be at your local Acura dealerships in the early part of next year. And they already announced an estimated base price of around $35,000. Now, mid-$30,000 is a very strong number, because if you guys look at the Integra, that vehicle starts at around $33,000. So really only $2,000 for a vehicle that offers more capability and practicality is kind of a great deal, considering how well equipped the base ADX is going to come. If you guys want all-wheel drive, that will cost you extra. Acura hasn't told us how much extra. They also didn't tell us how much more the A-Spec package would cost us or the A-Spec with advanced package would cost us. Now, we could speculate here. I would estimate that if you guys look at these models here, the fully loaded version, they're probably going to be in the low $40,000 range, maybe low to mid $40,000 range. I'm estimating that because Acura's own RDX starts at around $44,000, so I would expect this new ADX to kind of top out where the RDX is going to begin. So if you you guys are looking for an entry-level compact SUV that is well priced, that has a ton of technology, a ton of space on the inside, you should definitely be putting this new ADX at the top of your list. But with all that said, hope you guys have enjoyed my very full detailed overview of the all-new 2025 Acura ADX in the A-Spec with advanced package. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.